Wonderful. All right, so welcome everyone. Today we will have a fifth demo of No Wallet, and today we'll have lots of content. So first, we're going to focus on our recent update for the DApp browser and DApp catalog release, which happened, I believe, like last week. Then we're going to talk about brand new feature for introducing multi-assets inside of each chain that we have. After that, we will slightly talk regarding how we are improving the overall user experience of the wallet by introducing the operation history inside of each parachain. And yeah, we'll discuss like why it's hard, why cannot we just add a history for any asset. And in the end of the presentation, we will also discuss adding the new networks such as Kintsugi, Encointer, sorry, there is a typo here, and the Robonomics. Let me start this presentation. Great. Oh yeah, and we'll have a roadmap and plans review after all of this. So just a quick reminder that you are able to join all of these community links. I would really appreciate if you also subscribe to our YouTube channel so that we can have a nice link for our channel here. It's available after 100 subscribers, so please promote our YouTube. But other than that, we have a Telegram group, announcement channel, Twitter, Element, and a Medium. Right. Now let's switch to the most interesting part, the demo itself. So as I mentioned, last week we released the Nova version 2.3 on both platforms, iOS and Android. It's available by developing in test flight in GitHub. For the App Store, it's in review, I think, for 11 days already, but we are close to release, I think, because Apple engineers didn't told us any issue with this, so I assume that it should be available in days. But other than that, you can get the app now. And basically, this is a pretty much huge update for the No Wallet because it introduces you a DApp tab, which allows you to browse the whole internet of Web3 from Web3 built on the Polkadot and Kusama. So you can imagine that this use cases like browsing the Singular or Canaria as an NFT marketplaces, or stake some parachain tokens on Aster and Shid and DApp Hub, and other use cases, which we will take a look on the demo itself today. So yeah, that was a pretty much huge update. However, that's not the final one with DApp for us. So we still have some features to implement for DApp browser and catalog. For example, we need to add the Ethereum cryptography to the DApp browser because lots of networks in the ecosystem are using not only Polkadot cryptography, but also Ethereum one, for example, Moonriver, Moonbeam. And I assume that in the future, once networks will have some bridges to, for example, Ethereum or other networks, that will require more cryptography to be supported in DApp browser. Other than that, we would like to have something called phishing protection, because since we're introducing the opportunity for a user to visit any website in the world which supports like the Polkadot JS extension or, for example, MetaMask, right? There are lots of scammers and lots of scammer DApps available. And luckily for us, there is a list of such scammer DApps, let's say, available in our community. So what we are going to do, we're going to teach No Wallet about this list so that No Wallet will warn user that this DApp is potentially harmful for you. So don't trust it and so on. So that's one of the important things on our list for the DApp, because we are maximizing security, we're maximizing the care for our users. Other than that, we would like to have something to slightly improve the UX. So we will introduce the feature for users to manage their favorites categories. So you would be able to like make your DApp favorite or likewise not favorite. And you would be also able to manage your authorized DApp. So if you visit some DApp some time ago, then this DApp kind of remembers that you allowed all No Wallet accounts to be seen in this DApp. But if you change your mind, you would be able to deselect this in the app. And the last point here, probably users who were testing the DApp feature in No Wallet already so that some DApps are not perfect for the mobile devices, right? When you open some DApps, they might be not really adaptive for mobile screens and mobile resolutions. So what we're doing right now, we're communicating with all ecosystem teams to improve the overall quality of such DApps so that the user experience would be maximized, because not all of us have PCs, right? So lots of users using only mobile applications to browse the web free. So that's our goal, to maximize their experience using the DApp browser. So that's what we have in terms of the DApp as let's say what we presented you and released last week, and what we're planning to do the next. Now, let me just quickly show the demo of what we have right now for the DApps for those who haven't seen it yet. I promise to spend not much time on this because, we spent it on the last demo. So just give me a second more. By the way, if you have any questions, feel free to write them in chat and either me or my team will address them. All right, you should see my iOS device screen now. Can you confirm that? Yes, wonderful. Now, that's how DApps tab looks like, right? You can search DApps by typing the name or entering the URL itself, if you know it. Or you can just browse this DApp catalog, which we maintain in open source. So the community can add their DApps right in No Wallet. And basically, yeah, just so every team can have their DApp available in our app without any limitations. So what we can see here, tons of DApps, and we have some categories. So for example, if you're interested in staking, you can tap staking here and it will show all relevant DApps for the staking. Just one of the examples, A-Star Network launched their staking, I think staking program last week ago with some temptive resolution like 99-to-1 rewards rate. So that can be done easily through the No Wallet. So you can just tap on the A-Star here, connect wallet. You select here Polkadot.js extension because that's how No Wallet connects to all DApps. And you can see that it already recognizes my application, my account, sorry. And then you can go to the DApp staking here and just select any of available slots, if there are any. I'm not sure yet because, you can see here. So you tap stake here and you enter the amount if you have any A-stars. So that's just one of the example of DApps which can be popular right now. Also, just today we launched the Robonomics DApp. The similar thing, they have a staking. So if you have some Robonomics tokens, then feel free to use the Robonomics DApp for staking. Also, of course, one of the most demanding features for DApp browser was to browse the NFTs, so that there is now finally a user interface to communicate with Singular or Canaria on mobile device. So yeah, that's also totally possible. So you can see that it has my account connected here. So you can see my Kusamas and Remark tokens. And basically I can do whatever I want with a Singular app. And yeah, I can purchase NFTs, I can view them, and all of this available now in mobile format. And just to finish all this kind of spectrum of unlimited DApps available in Polkadot ecosystem, I would like to also mention some community DApps, which are important. For example, Subsocial and Polka Assembly. On Polka Assembly, usually there are some governance questions asked and managed. And Subsocial app is generally for basically discussing anything regarding the ecosystem. So you can tap and like some posts, you can add the comments, you can review the posts themselves. So now it's available in mobile format as well. So that's kind of it for what we have in DApp browser feature and DApp catalog. Are there any questions to this before we switch to the assets demo? Also, yeah, you can see that after I tap the like button, it shows me the confirmation of actual transaction to the blockchain, which is about to send. And I can review the details of it if you're advanced enough to read this. Or you can just review this simple screen with all information you need, basically, like the account, the network, and the network fee, which will be taken just for submitting this operation. All right. So that's for the DApps. As I mentioned, we're planning to continue improving this. But first things first, and let me switch to our slides one more time. Great. So let's continue with the assets feature. So for the assets feature, just to eliminate confusion, let's talk about the wording, right? So before, Nova Wallet was supporting multiple chains, which means that it was kind of a multi-chain application, right? However, inside of each chain, you can find different and multiple assets available. Think of Karura, for example, right? They have a native asset, car, and also they have lots of other assets available, like KUSD and assets from other chains. For example, Bifrost is available on Karura, Remark token is available on Karura as well, and so on. And in some chains, it can be like up to like thousands of assets available. So with next update, what we're going to do, we're going to bring this multi-asset world to the Nova wallet. So now users will have not only the default assets of each chain, but also the multiple assets inside of each chain, which makes Nova wallet not only multi-chain app, but also the multi-asset app. So yeah, that's just about the terminology. Right, and regarding the tech, what we are using, basically we selected the two substrate pellets, which are used in the ecosystem mostly. The one which is used in Statemine and Statemint, which means that we will support all of these assets available on Statemine. And the other one, which is called ORML palette, which is used by Karura, Bifrost, and many other networks, which means that we can support their multi-asset out of the box as well. And on the right side, you can see our current vision, how we will rework the asset screen, right? So you can see that for some networks like the Polkadot, Polkadot is an interesting example because right now it has only one token. So you will see kind of this representation. But for Karura, and we will see it later on, or actually I can show you right now this. Or for example, for Moonriver or Karura, this will be the representation, right? So you can see that it will be kind of like a category, right, for Karura. And you can see all your underlying assets inside of Karura. So you won't be lost regarding your asset screen. So that's the idea of what we are doing right now with the multi-assets. There are some challenges because some networks decided to go in different direction, and how the assets implemented is another story. Like it's not implemented like in Karura or Bifrost, it's like a third pass, right? And we need to spend some time to implement this as well. But our current solution will handle like most of the cases for the ecosystem, so we will see how it goes. Right, and let's switch to the demo itself for the multi-asset. And what we have right now is the implementation, which looks like this, right? We already have some categories available. You can see that this category is for the Moonriver. So we can see Mover, we can see cross-chain Kusama and cross-chain Remark token here. And also the next category is the Karura one, right? With all underlying assets for Karura network, such as KUSD, Bifrost token, Kusama token, card token, and remark token. So you can see that now if you have multiple assets inside of one network, you will see this kind of as a group, right? And if we will not do this, users might be lost because it will be kind of a mix of all the assets. And even if you write this like the asset location, it will be a mess, right? Now, what we can do now, right? Probably lots of you heard that, for example, remark token is now migrating from Statemine to Bifrost, Karura, and Moonriver, and remark team suggesting you to move your remark tokens off the Statemine. And what you're gonna do if you don't have any solution to do it on the desktop, for example, and you have only mobile application. And you actually can do it in the next update in no wallet, because you can do it using the DApp of the Bifrost, and I will show you later on how to do it. And overall, our demo will consist of just showing you that multi-asset now works in no wallet. So you will see that after we will do some cross-chain operations, the balances will be updated in live, right? And also, you can see that pretty much we can fetch the balances from all these networks. So I have here 3 apps available, which are Karura, Bifrost, and Moonbeam. And all of them are supported in no wallet as well. So you can see we have a group for Moonriver with Kusama and remark token. We have a group for Karura with remark and other multi-assets. And we also have a Bifrost, right? And of course, we have a Statemine. So now let's just go one by one and see how it works. So we have the Karura DApp here, right? Let me just make my screen a little bit less messy. Yeah. So now they have a function called bridge, right? And by the way, the name will be varied across all the apps. So for example, in Bifrost, it's called cross-chain. In Moonriver, it's called deposit and withdraw. But yeah, kind of an ecosystem moment. So let's try to do the following. Let's try to bridge from Statemine to Karura network some remark tokens, right? So we type bridge here. We select a network, for example, Statemine, but you can have an options here. And we select the Karura network here. The app shows me that I have 91 remark tokens in Statemine. Let's just cross-check it in the no wallet. Yes, that's correct. And let's just, for example, transfer 1 remark token if it fits the limits. It seems that, yes, it does. Okay, let's type transfer. Let me enter the password as well. And now let's open the no wallet to see how it basically works in terms of the live updates, right? So ideally, yeah, that's changed to the 90, and we should see slightly more remark tokens on Karura networks as well when it will be finalized on Karura side. So ideally, it should turn to 1,000. Yes, it just turned to it. So you can see that those updates happening just live. So I don't need to do any like pull to refresh. Of course, you can do this, but mainly it updates the fiat ratio for the tokens. Balances are updated on the fly, so you don't need to do anything. Yeah, so we just saw how we have moved the remark token from Statemine to Karura, and it reflected in our application. Now let's do other thing. Let's try to bridge the token from, let's say, Karura to Bifrost. Let's select the Karura token. Oh, it suggested Bifrost as well. And let's bridge 1 token. So we are looking to the Karura and Bifrost. And ideally, I should have, or maybe not Karura. Let's try to do something different. Bifrost, for example. Do we have Bifrost here? Yeah. So we have 6.2 Bifrost on Karura, and we have only 239 Bifrost on Bifrost. Sorry for that. And let's do the cross-chain operation. So also mention, just notice the speed of these operations, right? So it takes like less than a minute to all of this cross-chain interaction to confirm on both sides, right? On one side, which is Karura, and on another side, which in this case would be the Bifrost. So we can see that balance on Karura already changed. And now we will just wait for Bifrost network to update the balance. And yes, here it is. Right, so that's a Karura application. And you can see that, yeah, luckily for us, Karura team did a great job with this interface. Now, let's switch to the Bifrost app. On the Bifrost, you can do pretty much the same thing, right? You can cross-chain and cross out the tokens. So let's, for example, cross in remark tokens from Statemine, since remark team told us to move from Statemine. The process is pretty much the following. You need to sign the operation. And then let's see how our balance on Statemine will be changed and on the Bifrost. After that, we will try to do something more interesting. Yeah, you saw that it just transferred. And also notice that the categories themselves are also changed their positions, because the sorting which you can see on your screen is depending on your balances in each network. So the sum of each tokens inside of one chain affecting its position on your asset screen. So if you have the most assets allocated in Moonriver network, then Moonriver will be on the top of your asset screen, right? Now, I just show you the examples featuring the desktop, right? Which is a bit of cheating. Let's try to do it natively in no wallet. So we're going to implement the cross-chain transfers like in the no wallet user interface itself sometime later. But even right now, you would be able to do it using the, as I mentioned, Bifrost application. You would be able to do it using the Karura app as well, but Karura doesn't support mobile interface yet. And probably you would be able to do it using the Moonriver application, but Moonriver requires you to have the Ethereum cryptography. So in our case, the best choice would be a Bifrost app. Now, notice that I'm using here the Android emulator, which means that the DApp browser, which I will show to you, would be slightly slower, or maybe even a lot slower than you will have on your device. But yeah, it would be enough for us to show the demo. So we go here to the wallet. And now, when this will be loaded, we will do the same thing which we did in our web interface. So we will tap cross-chain, cross-in. We'll select the Statemine. And we will select the amount of the remark tokens to be breached from Statemine to the Bifrost. We saw this once again on a desktop, right? But in addition to this, now the DApp of no wallet asks you, like, do you really want to sign it? Just like the Polkadot.js extension asked us on the desktop. And the similar thing, you can review this information if you're advanced enough, or you can just simply see this overall. Oops, it's crashed. Sorry for that. Let's go back. But yeah, you can just see the simple information about the transaction available. So yeah, let's go back to the DApps, Bifrost. Probably that's the thing of Android emulator, which I mentioned in the beginning. Let's do the cross-in, Statemine, 3 marks, confirm, and let's see how it goes. it says success for us, so we can close the DApp actually, and we can verify it in our asset screen. And we can scroll to the Bifrost. I forgot how how many remarks it should be, but I remember that it was saying that it should be 92, so we can see the 92 in our asset screen. So probably everything went well. Right, and the last part is, yeah, the Moonbeam DApp. For the Moonbeam, or it's better say Moonriver, right? We also supporting cross-chain assets, which means that cross-chain Kusama on Moonriver and cross-chain Remark are also now available in No Wallet. And you can see them in the corresponding section of Moonriver. Now let's check the live updates for it. So let's try to deposit. We did everything with Remark, so let's try to do something with the Kusama tokens, right? So let's deposit something like 0.1 Kusama. Let's go back in No Wallet and just wait. So it's waiting for confirmation on Moonriver side. But we can see that in No Wallet you already have updated balance, and in web application it still shows you that it's waiting for confirmation, and it only now showed you that transaction is confirmed. All right, so you can see all of this working in No Wallet already. So what we're going to do now, we're going to refine slightly the user interface, and we're going to deliver the feature which community was demanding for a long time, a feature to hide these zero balances, right? So we will try to ship it as well with a new multi-asset update. And the design which you can expect will most likely look like this. So we'll have a pretty pictures for categories, right? And we will remove this individual badges, which you can see now, just to kind of make the screen less noisy. All right, so that's regarding the multi-asset, like cross-chain communications. Are there any questions or suggestions? Let's see what we also have on the slides. All right, we have on our list, next topic to discuss is operation history for parachains. That's kind of, yeah, I think we have seen this when I was presenting the demo, but let's, for example, open the Karura, and you can see that now the users can see the history for the Karura. So we can see all these transfers which we made cross-chain, right? We can see the transfers and other operations for the parachains like Karura. Or for example, if we will open probably the Bifrost, yeah, Bifrost as well is supported already. And what we are trying to do right now, we are working with different teams, namely subquery and subsquid, just to implement these data sources for any application in the ecosystem to have historical data for users' account, which No Wallet will use as well. So it takes time for us to develop it individually for each parachains, but you can see that we have the progress already started, right? So we have Karura, we have Bifrost, and we have like around 10 networks already with the histories available. So for Android, there is no need to update your application. What we are doing, it's pretty close to how we add the assets on the fly to the app, right? Which we will have also in this demo as well. But that's just a configuration for No Wallet to understand where to go to fetch the history for certain network, right? The way how it's fetched already built in your Nova Wallet application, at least on Android. For iOS, we're going to deliver it with our multi-asset updates in version 2.4. So yeah, that's pretty it, I think. Let's move forward. Yeah, well, ideally it should be like the UX should be that you have like one history for all of your chains, right? And this is kind of merged in one history and one list, I mean, with all your tokens and so on. But from technical perspective, taking into account the ecosystem state, we are not there yet to provide such feature, right? So for now, we will have this individual history for each network, let's say, shown to the user. Nice. So let's add some new networks. So on today's demo, we will add 2 new networks to no-wallet applications which are running on the production. So the first one would be Encointer, which is new Kusama common good parachain. And the second one would be Robonomics, which is also a new Kusama parachain, which is up and running, right? We have finished the testing for both of these networks in terms of like balances, transfers, and so on. So we are safe to add them today. Now, with our work, which we did for introducing multi-assets in No Wallet, we are now finally ready to integrate Kintsugi, because in Kintsugi, the assets are represented in slightly different way comparing to other networks, right? So with our latest development, we are able to add support for Kintsugi parachain. However, our users need to wait for 2.4 update because all of this logic with new multi-assets will be only there. So we will bring the Kintsugi only after 2.4 version update. So for those who will update to 2.4, we'll see Kintsugi in their assets list. So yeah, that's the state for the new networks. And yeah, let's just add them. So quick reminder how it goes. We will just update our configuration on open source GitHub repository. And after like several minutes, usually it's less than 5, once the configuration on GitHub will be updated, the Nova wallet would be able to fetch this information in a live to apply to your app. So let's do this. We can see that Stepan has opened the pull request adding Robonomics and provided, let's say, proofs that those networks are well tested, as well as Encointer. All right. And we most likely safe to say that we can merge this now. All right. So we just merged these changes to our GitHub. Now, let me close this version of No Wallet because this is a development version. Development version looking to slightly different configurations. That's why you can see lots of test nets, for example, Akala Mandala, or yeah, like Westmint and other networks, which we're testing. So let's switch to production version here, which is that one. And let's wait for Robonomics to appear here, but I already see it's there. Interesting. Was it this fast? Can somebody confirm who has a version from either GitHub or App Store that they can see the Encointer and Robonomics networks on the asset screen? I will also check on mine. Whoa, that was really fast. Less than 1 minute, I think. Yeah, it's updated for me as well. Great. So Robonomics and Encointer, welcome to No Wallet. Yeah, next network will be Kint, probably. We're also waiting Picasso network to solve their issues, and then we will be able to add them in No Wallet as well. And also let us know for any network if we missed it for some reason. We would be able to add it as soon as possible, as soon as our test will be finished with them. All right, any questions so far? Let's slowly proceed then to the plans and the roadmap. Now, what's next, right? regarding markets availability. So for the App Store, we already discussed that. We have 2.3 version for 11 days in review. So I expect it to be available hopefully in days from now. But if you cannot wait anymore, let's say, you can download it from Apple Test Flight, which you can find on the website, the links. And for the Android, you can get the 2.3 version with DApps from the GitHub. And for the Google Play, we have some progress of reinstating our application, but we cannot give any dates, unfortunately, still to our users when it will be available once again. So yeah, we will announce if there are any news for Google Play, which are solid. Now, as for development plans, what we are working on is 2.4 with all the features which you saw regarding the assets, regarding the parachain history. We are planning to forge it in 2.4 update and push it to App Store and a GitHub as soon as we will test this. Yeah, it feels like we are almost ready, right? But let's see how testing goes. Now, after the assets feature, we are planning to take a look on the NFT features together with the Remark team. We will see what we can do in terms of our current Kusama treasury proposal, right? We will also take a look on our like a general feature to improve the user interface everywhere in the application. And then we need to start integrating the Moonriver and Moonbeam staking into the Node wallet. Also, we have promised you that we will launch the community-oriented development process. That's on our list. I think after 2.4, we will start communities. We will start select features which was voted on from the community. And also we have some collaborations pending. We are really excited to announce them, but it's not just time yet. So yeah, expect some amazing news coming soon. All right, I think that's it from our side. Are there any questions? My mind is blown, no. Yes, thank you so much. Then let's wrap up here. It was a pleasure to meet you, everyone. And thank you so much. See you next time in 2 weeks. Have a good one. Bye.